Thank you. Thank you. Pranam sabhi ko.
It will also be informative about the. Thank you.
Okay.
We would like to welcome you all on behalf of Independent Research Ethics Society, IRES Samriddhi International Webinar Series at milestone of 2708. We are celebrating today World Rivers Day. Actually, it is on the last Sunday, but according to our schedule, we are preponing it for today. Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Suparna Sanyal Mukherjee, Madam, Associate Professor and HOD, Department of Education, School of Human Sciences, SICOM School, Skills University, Bolpur. And I would like to welcome Dr. Sakat Kumar Basuji, Executive Research Director, Performance Seed Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada, and West Bengal. Rivers need to be everybody's care. Now, in preamble, I would like to communicate eye-opener informations about the rivers in India. Just if we would like to talk about any river, maybe Indian or maybe any world's river, that running water is the most important agent of erosion. Rivers flowing on the oceans drains about 68% of the Earth's land surface. Just see if we can stop that and we can utilize it in humans' welfare, definitely that water can be saved and can be utilized for human consumption. River gradually mold the land by eroding away the material in some place and depositing in other. Sand is the best example of that. River system generally can be divided into three subsystems. Number one, collective system. Collective system means branches consisting of network of tributaries in the headwater region, collects and funnel water and sediments to the main stream. Transporting system, that is called trunk. The main trunk stream which function as a channel way through which water and sediment move from the collecting area towards the ocean. That is main. And dispersing system routes consisting of a network of distributaries at the mouth of a river delta where sediment and water are dispersed into an ocean, lake. This Bangladesh acts like a delta, definitely. So many distributaries are there. And so many nomenclature are available for the branches of river, tributary, a stream flowing into or joining a larger stream, that is called tributary, distributary, numerous stream branches into which a river divides where it reaches its delta, that is called distributary. Upstream moves toward headwater, up the regional slope of erosion. Downstream moves toward mouth of river, delta. Delta means a large, roughly triangular body of sediment deposited at the mouth of a river, that is called delta. Meander, a broad looping bend in a river. Braided, river is divided into multiple channels by alluvial islands. Braided rivers tend to have steeper gradients. So many nomenclature are available for parts of river. Just see, this is drainaging pattern. I am not going into detail, but it is self-understood by the pictures also. Dendritic tree-like pattern in many directions. Parallel, this parallel means parallel, smoothly parallel. Radial, it is about radial. This is common in volcanic terrain, volcan where this because this is from one source and going into different direction. Rectangulars are also available. Trellised, rectangular arrangement of channels in which principal tributary stream are parallel and very long. Just see the channel network. Annular, that is also centripetal. So many nomenclature we see. Just see. This is main stream, consequent stream is stream following the slope. Development of slope may be due to the sudden tectonic uplift. Subsequent stream is a stream that develops later on, carving the softer rocks and flow at the almost right angle to the original slope of the land. That is called, these are stream orders. I don't want to go into detail. Drainage system. Just see the example of fluvial landforms. This is fluvial landform. Just see. Alluvial fens. These are the braided channels. Braided channels are just approximately in whole Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh. You can see these meandering pattern. This is just see like a snake. बिल्कुल सांप लहरा रहा हो ऐसा लगता है. ये डेल्टा है रिवर के अलग अलग वे में. हमारा सुंदरवन भी गिना जा सकता है, बांग्लादेश भी गिना जा सकता है. ये सब डेल्टाज है. ये देखिए, ये वे ऑफ बंगाल में मैं जिसकी बात कर रहा था, ये इतने सारे इसकी डिस्ट्रीब्यूटरी और मेन चैनल्स आती हैं. ये पूरा इसका नक्शा लेवीज. मैं इतने डिटेल में न जाते हुए 5 मिनट एक्शन प्लान पे लेना चाहता हूं गवर्नमेंट के. कितना सुंदर हमारा एरिया, यदि हम कहें टोटल, फास्ट ले रहा हूं, क्षमा चाहता हूं. शेखर जी और सुपर्णा जी के लिए भी डेफिनेटली ये इंफॉर्मेटिव होगा, लेकिन उनके जो यूनिक कंसेप्ट निकलते हैं रियली अप्रिशिएबल. मैं 5 मिनट और लूंगा शेखर जी, सुपर्णा जी. 3.28 million square kilometer our area, 2% of the world's total. Only 2%. Population, I am not going into detail. Coastline 7,500, states okay. Water is precious, we know. Water use in India. Irrigation, men 85%, domestic 7%. It can be increased up to 8 or 9% within these 25 years. Industry, definitely 5%. I am adding as per my assumption. Energy, more 6 to 7%. Other are less because main contents are there. Now, National Water Quality Monitoring Program is there. It started in 1978. So many, 120 stations that is mentioned for 2000. Otherwise, so many stations are maintained for this parameters: pH, temperature, conductivity, dissolved oxygen, biochemical oxygen, nitrite, facial coliform, and total coliform. So many standard parameters are there for water. Objective oxygen, I am not going into detail. Criteria for selection for monitoring station: either river, stream, or lake, reservoir, pond, tank, canal, groundwater. So anywhere at the source quality can be monitorized. Water quality criteria, this is the class A, class B. Class A means drinking water source without conventional treatment but after disinfection. Outdoor bathing, B category, B class water. C class water, drinking water source with conventional treatment followed by disinfection. Our water, what we are drinking, that is C class water. Propagation of wildlife, fisheries, that is D class water. different criteria are there. What will be pH, what will be sediment, what should be the oxygen, those are criteria. And irrigation, industrial cooling, controlled waste disposal, E-class water. So 5 class of water are available at present. And generally we are unaware about it because we don't have to communicate in that sense. But thank you, Rivers Day, which has enabled me to communicate. So they have, just see, so many charts are there, so many, everything is with government. How many river, how many well, how many lakes, and approximately, these are not going to change because approximately pond can be increased, but rivers are rivers. So in our India, 567 rivers are there approximately. Baitarani, Brahmani, Brahmaputra, Kaveri, Ganga. These are so many. In Ganga, Chambal is also there, Damodar is also there, Gandak is there. So 39, these are the subsidiaries of this or input of गंगा. गोदावरी 11, इंडस इसकी ट्रिब्यूटरीज हैं, कृष्णा 19, माही, महानदी, नर्मदा 14 हैं, ट्रिब्यूटरीज छोटा तवा में है. ये ऐसे इनकी बहुत सारी नदियां हैं जो आप देखिए. वाटर क्वालिटी की इंडेक्शन उसका भी पूरा एनालिसिस है जिसके डिटेल में मैं नहीं जाता, लेकिन फिर भी लेंथ इसकी बहुत ज्यादा है अलग अलग अपनी इंडिया में. और ऐसा है कि जनरली हम कितने टाउन को आप देखते हैं सप्लाई करती है, तो ये देखिए गंगा 74 टाउन, यमुना 22, दामोदर 12, ऐसे अलग अलग टाउन को ये सब सप्लाई करती हैं. उसके ऊपर जीवन टिका हुआ है. मैं इतना कह सकता हूँ, थैंक यू रिवर डे, हम लोगों को नया कुछ सीखने को मिला. नाउ आई वुड लाइक टू इनवाइट डॉक्टर सुपर्णा सान्याल मुखर्जी मैडम फॉर हर वैल्यूएबल स्पीच. डॉक्टर सुपर्णा जी, प्लीज.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Very good evening to the all dignitaries over here. Thanks for giving me such an opportunity to say on this auspicious platform. So today's topic is very important and which is giving us the new dimension. Basically, it has been observed that the Rivers Day also celebrating in 28th of September each and every year. So this year it is also in the 28th September 2025, but we are celebrating in advance. So that's why I can say the Happy Rivers Day in advance. Why this River Day is celebrating? Basically, we also followed that there is two events, annual events used to be followed. One is the Rivers Day for the 28th September. Another one is the Rivers Action Day, International Day for River Action. It is also the 14th March each and every year used to be followed. So, river conservation and river protection is very important part nowadays because maximum rivers are getting dried. So, their rivers, the water contention is getting down. The soil water is also falling, and groundwater level is deteriorating each and every time and each and every day. That's why the Rivers Day is very fruitful, and celebrating the river days is also very good for the conservation of the river water, the sustainable management, importance of the river, to follow the, to aware the people for the development. These all things are very important to observe this Rivers Day. At the same time, it is also noticed that to recognize the vital role of the rivers and waterways, which raise the awareness about the threats which we are facing right now, and encourage stewardships and the sustainable management. Because we have seen that each and every civilization which is also developed on the basin of the river. Because in case of the Indus Valley civilization, and our civilization, the Greek civilization. So everything, if we can follow it, it is also developed in the basin of the river. So origin of this event was also established in the 2005, because there was no river days used to be followed, and which has been inspired the local success of British Columbia Rivers Day. And the celebration was the which basically include the steam cleanups and the educational outings and the community river side celebrations. So this is the place where we can develop and where we can encourage our students, where we can encourage the various types of research projects, where we can develop the rivers and rivers day, and not only the rivers day, the health of the rivers, the capacity of the rivers, and to develop the rivers, and why rivers are important for us. Each and every rivers, they have the unique significance of our life, because if we can follow the Ganga, then the Yamuna, then Saraswati, Kaveri, all rivers are also included in our customs, rites, rituals, and each and every parts of our life is also related with this river. So this is the another one important thing is the River Action Plan. River Action Plan, also International Day for the River Action Plans, which has been observed in the March 14th each and every year. So basically, it is the main aspect to observe it, to focus on the importance of the rivers, to need to protect the freshwater ecosystem, and to uphold the right to clean water. Here it is very important for that the river waters are the sweet waters, which is the drinking water, because we cannot drink the sea water, and the salt portion is so high in the sea water. The sea waters are not drinkable. That's why the river waters are drinkable, and for that reason, the river water should be restored. And restoration of the river water followed by the river action plan. And our rivers are our future. It is the theme of this 2025 River Day and River Action Plans, and which has been emphasized the river health and human well-being. And the humans, those who develop the civilization and the development of the human being, also based on the river. And river waters also have the unique aspect and unique potentiality for the sustainable development and sustainable life of the each and every individual who are sustaining and who are developing their culture, their relations, and their every aspects of the life is basically depending upon this river water. So hence you can say that the rivers are very important part of our life. Rivers have the protection. Rivers need the protection, rivers require the protection, and the rivers are also very, the grazing of the river lands is also very important for protecting the rivers. And we have seen basically in the Indian subcontinent, where the first the train line system, or the train is to move through the rivers like the Ganga. It is the Howrah to Kolkata has been connected. So it is also a very important part to recognize that the rivers, the base of the rivers is also, there is another tectonics. Our former speaker has told so many points and highlighted so many points, which is very informative and very essential part of us. So that's why the new generation should restore the river waters, because if the sweet water level goes down, so we cannot drink water. And it is very cost, that is the how we make the sea water, the salt water in a drinking water. It is a very difficult process altogether to make it the sweet water for drinkable. That's why the river, we are depending on the river water, and we also celebrating, and we also worshipping the river, each and every river, which has been, we have seen in the Gita, Upanishad, and our Ved, Puran, wherever we have seen the rivers as the unique identification and unique collaboration and unique support for our life and for our life sustainability, because there are so many production, like the plant production, the crops may develop and generate by side of the rivers, because most of the parts are 85% people are depending upon the rivers water crops productions, because seawater only giving us few qualities, that is the 15% only. But in case of the river water, there is a various types of crops is to be developed, and we are depending upon those crops, and we are having, because these are our staple food, to maintain the nutrition, to maintain our sustainability, to gives us the backbone, at the same time to give us the sensation. Rivers are very important part of our life. So that's why we need, because river ecosystem is also very important. And the in case of the Ayush, the rivers have the unique interpretation and the unique, coincide incidents for the yogas. That is the Muni Rishis, those who have developed their pattern and yoga system. It is also based on this the river, because when they enter into the Gomukh, the Gangotri, Jamunotri, so that part's the place where they can get the fresh oxygen, and they can meditate, they can develop the yoga, they can practice yoga, which can develop us and which can give us the more potentiality of life sustainability, because it has been observed that those who have entered into the high altitude level like this Gangotri, Yamunotri, and they practice the yoga and the meditation, those sadhus, those the sage has become the very powerful persons, and they can bless you. If they can bless you, that means it is a blessing of the God, and if they can curse you, it is the curse from the God. So that's why the rivers have the direct impact of the human civilization and human life, not only the human, the all plant kingdoms and animal kingdoms, and especially the Ayush. It is also depending upon the river basin and river water system. So that's why it is very important part of our life, and we have to be depending upon this river water, and we have to protect, we have to save, we have to restore our river water for our betterment of life. Thank you very much. Thanks for giving me such an opportunity. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you very much, madam. So nice of you. Now I would like to request Dr. Sekat Kumar Basuji. Welcome, welcome, Dr. Sekat. Sekat Kumar Basuji. Thank you. Thank you, Sekatji. I would like to welcome
The
Sekat
Zoom
Kumar
was
Basuji.
giving me a little bit trouble today. So it took me a little time to get in, but I was able to hear to both your wonderful presentation and to what Madam has added and incorporated. You have already covered a lot on this, but nonetheless, in the World River Day, it is very important to highlight shortly by saying that this is one of the most important natural resources that we have. And across countries, and particularly in a vulnerable country like India, where we have world's highest population, every state and union territories that I had the opportunity to visit in the last 5 years, from Kashmir to Tamil Nadu and from Gujarat to Manipur, everywhere that I have gone, other than a few handful states in the northeast of India and in parts of northern India, which I mean by the Himalayas, most of the rivers in India across the country is showing very sad, degradable situation. If you travel to West Bengal, particularly if you are going to Jharkhand, and particularly in case of Bihar, you will see huge stretches while you are crossing from one city to another across the huge railway bridge. You will see sand layers, as far as your eyes can stretch, meeting up to the horizon, and the entire bare field is with sand and mud, and there are plants that have grown throughout those riverbed, but there is nothing called water in it. And we understand that there are some rivers which are charged during the monsoon period when the water comes from the mountain out of the melting of the snow during the summer, or due to adequate rainfall or release of water through the dams and reservoirs. But most of them throughout the year are showing very, 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 very sad part, in the sense that they are not looking good, in that particular sense that they're all drying up. Now, thinking about the kind of dependence, both for our domestic purposes, as well for our agricultural industrial growth, and as well as for the serenity of the ecology and in the environment, the flow inside the river is very, very important. If we are losing out on our rivers, if we are losing out on adequate supply and the flow channel system on the rivers, we are impending and heading towards a big catastrophe down the line, is because water shortage is something that we are now seeing in various parts of the country. As you could see in Calcutta, Sharmaji is right now in Kolkata, and we have seen unprecedented rainfall there. It's a kind of a climate change. This year, the rain has started from June, and it is supposed to be completed by August, but it is stretching well to the end of September, and well, it will move into October. So this is purely climate change, very, very serious in that particular sense, that we are seeing unprecedented rainfall in some parts of the country, or drought or flooding in some other parts of the country, which is happening because the weather pattern is drastically changing. There are depressions that are happening in the Bay of Bengal, Arabian Sea, and is impacting our coastal areas, and the weather pattern therein impacting the growth and regeneration of our forest, the growth and regeneration of various kinds of plants, crops, everything that we are associated. As Masdam has very nicely mentioned, that human societies are associated with rivers for the growth of civilization. There would have been no Egyptian civilization if there was no Nile. And there would have been no Indus Valley civilization if there was no Indus Valley, the river Indus. There would have been no Mesopotamia, Babylonia, and other their areas if we didn't have rivers like Euphrates and Tigris down there, or we had no Chinese civilization had there been no the gigantic Chinese rivers that crisscross the country, because we are dependent on our freshwater resources for our daily sustenance, for the growth of crop, for the growth of industry, and for the survival of the environment and our biodiversity. But the alarming rate in which our riverbeds are showing up, and they are drying up so fast across every state, from north to south to east to west, wherever we have the pressure of human population, it is extremely alarming. Not only the rivers, you would see that from ancient time to our present day, we always used to have a lot of feeder canals. Some of them were natural, some of these canals were constructed by our colonial masters, sometimes by our feudal lords, and sometimes by our governments, for having maintaining the flow of water. Wherever there will be excess flow of water during rain or monsoon, these feeder canals will work as a distribution channel, so that excess water is taken to the river, or if there is lack of water, they could serve as a reservoir. But across the country, what I see is this all these important connecting links and feeder channels to these big rivers or medium-sized rivers have been drying up. The corporations and the corporate sectors have been stealing lands right under the nose of all kinds of municipalities, corporations, and gram panchayats. And overnight, agricultural and forested lands or industrial lands are being converted, or water bodies are being converted into residential areas or industries. Now, why is this so challenging and disastrous for the growth of our rivers and everything? It is because of the fact that if we are impeding the flow of water that comes from the river and moves through the land through its numerous tributaries, distributaries, ponds, bogs, swamps, etc., you are interplaying with the geography and the hydrology of the rivers. And when there will be flooding, there will be no space for these adequate water to go and accumulate, so that it could be again used naturally over the process. We are depreciating the land of all such water bodies, and all these water bodies are some way connected to these great rivers. So by blocking their pathways, by having illegal constructions on their ways, right under the influence of the state and central government, where no action is being taken. And furthermore, the other has been the rise of the sand mafia in India. The riverbeds are being plundered for looting of sands. They are not paying a rupee one revenue to the state or the union territory from where this sand is plundered from the riverbed, and they are taken in huge massive amounts every day. Hundreds and thousands of trucks across the country is transporting sand from one part of the country to the other, from one state to the other, or within the state from one city or one rural community to another, because we need sand for the construction purposes. Now, freshwater riverine sand are better because they do not have huge amount of saltiness in them. So we do not use too much of the salt sand, because then that sand will need some processing to remove the huge concentration of salt in them and may not be good for construction purposes. As a result, the riverbeds are being plundered, looted, and as a result, the courses of the rivers are being modified. So you will see that a particular river had no oxbow lake, but suddenly it has turned into an oxbow lake, or like a horseshoe-shaped lake is being formed. And as you manipulate with the riverbed, you are manipulating the course of the river. So when during the monsoon there is huge pressure of water that is being flowing into these canals and flowing to the riverbed, they will modify their course and they will cut through the lands. Already in Gangetic and plains across West Bengal and Bangladesh, there is one side of the rivers that are being completely eroded. We are losing huge amounts of land in districts of Malda, Murshidabad every year, taken up by the Ganges, which are, whether it is called Bhagirathi in some part, whether it is called Hooghly in other countries, or whether it is called Meghna in Bangladesh. They are cutting out lands in one part and depositing on the other side. This is a huge geological natural transformation. But because we are playing so much with the course of the river, because we are interfering so much in the integrities of the river flow, we are changing the rivers, their dynamics, their flow, their habitats. And as a consequences, we are having drastic floods. There are rivers that are cutting away the shorelines and causing all kinds of problems. People are losing their houses, their livelihoods, agricultural lands are being destroyed. In many cases, even industrial lands have been swallowed up by the river, is because we are accelerating this process. Erosion of riverbed is a natural process, but it takes hundreds and thousands of years, or I would say it takes millions of years. Where we have Kalighat today in Kolkata used to be a part of the mangrove forest of the Sundarban. If you will dig through various parts of Kolkata, as was dug during the metro railways, hundreds and thousands of fossils of mangrove plants were found, which showing that the sea used to stretch, or the coastal area used to stretch as far as back in case of South Calcutta up to Chaurangi and other areas. But this has taken millions of years for the sea to recede to the point, at least at the point of Digha and where we see now, it has taken a few million years to reach there. But by multiplying these forces anthropogenically, by humans intervening on the riverbeds, taking away sands, altering river courses, we are augmenting or accelerating this process. This is dangerous. This is detrimental. This is serious in the part that it is continued to have long-term impact on our environment and ecology and our riverine biodiversity, as also it will have various threats on the agricultural land and land erosion down the line, because we are playing with it. There has been another talk that has been going on, is the river connectivity project, where gigantic rivers in North and South India are being thought about getting connected. So the Ganges being connected to the Mahanadi of Orissa, and the Mahanadi being connected to the Krishna, Kaveri and other riverine systems. Whether this will lead to some good part or bad part, I do not know at this particular point of time. I have seen beautiful irrigation canals that are very well maintained in parts of northern plains of America and Canada. And because they have maintained this irrigational canal so good, the land is being enriched from the mountain glacial water that comes to the land, and where there should have been no agricultural is very highly productive agricultural land. and it is also used for transportation, but there is very much maintenance and the population is much, much lesser than India. In a country like India, if we connect giant rivers, increase transportation, the riverine pollution is going to increase, and the huge cost that would be involved, whether it is worth doing it, needs to be consulted with riverine experts around the world. There are mixed observations on that. Some have said that it would boost Indian economy. Some are saying that it will add and reduce these chances of floods and flash floods and these things. But one of the biggest challenges for a country like India is poor maintenance and lack of monitoring and proper surveillance. If these are not maintained properly, you will have negative impacts of connectivity of giant rivers with one another through feeder canals. Down the line, we need to see. But one thing is important, that the government, the NGOs, and the people of this country themselves, we all need to take responsibility and understand what great harm we are doing to our rivers that needs to change. Conservation of the river is very, very important, is what I would like to say on the World River Day, and that we are losing our freshwater resources. This is challenging. We are not leaving something for our next generation for them to sustain and thrive. So it is important that we conserve water. It is important that we conserve the river. Without rivers, no civilization or human civilizations will be able to survive on this planet. Thank you very much, Dr. Sharma. Once again, it has been a great. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Chakraji. Thank you very much. इस विषय पे बहुत ही अच्छा आप सबों ने प्रतिपादन किया। आदरणीय डॉक्टर सीपी शर्मा सर जुड़े हो, स्वागतम स्वागतम। आदरणीय डॉक्टर सीपी शर्मा सर कुछ बोलेंगे सर? डॉक्टर निशांत शुक्ला जी, डॉक्टर निशांत शुक्ला जी, सीपी शर्मा जी,